I guess maybe it's maybe evening, maybe afternoon, and maybe other time zones for some folks with being online. It's like, oh, I don't actually know what time of day it is for you. Um, but it's nice to be here with you all. I This is my first time in this group joining on Thursday, so I appreciate just getting to be here with you all tonight. For me tonight. Yeah, I'm a musician, and I got connected with the Zen Center through a foundations course, the foundations course last year that I took with some folks on this call, including Ruben and Miriam and Stefan, and um, and I have had a practice for many years, mostly Zen practice, but the last few years have been just sort of trying to figure out how my Zen practice connects with my music practice, and also with my I also do a lot of racial equity trainings, and my main sort of work is in doing a lot of racial equity work. And so that's a big part of my spiritual practice, is just how is it supporting these other aspects of my life. And so I'll just share a little bit about what I was wanting to offer for this space for the next 15 minutes or so. Would just be just for this entirety of this COVID experience, a big element on the beginning of it. I was like having a really hard time playing my instrument and making anything at all. And I sort of like realized that every time I came to play my instrument, the only thing that was coming out was just like a lot of sadness and a lot of grief. And so I just sort of started doing this grief process with my instrument, of just playing and allowing the sounds to come out, and just allowing myself to sort of just feel what was coming up during that time. So I thought, just for this time, there is so much to grieve always, and also so much joy and so much things to be grateful for. But there's definitely, I feel like, an influx of grief that we're experiencing worldwide. So I thought I would just offer, just for the next several minutes, just some time for us to just sort of be together with sounds in the space. And we'll just start with a little breaths body scan, and then I'll play for a little bit, and I sort of will just invite folks to just just act as if that every sound is the sounds that we're making together. So instead of it being like I'm playing for you, it's just that we're just playing, and just allowing the sounds to sort of experience them as if they are being made by your own physical being. So I'll just sort of walk us through a couple of steps, and then we'll start, and then we'll just do a little heart holding close. Um, so if folks are feeling comfortable, it's just finding a nice and sort of balanced seat, whatever that feels like for you in this moment. And feel free to close your eyes, or just lower your gaze if that feels good, to not feel like you have to look at the screen. And we'll just take a few breaths, and we'll just start by just settling into our bodies a little bit. So we'll inhale, start with an inhale, and then on our exhale, we're gonna start at the top of our head. We can just gonna do a little body scan and see on each exhale if we can just release anything that we feel like we might be holding in each part of our body. So I'll explain a little bit less. So we'll inhale, and then our exhale. Maybe we can just feel into the top of our head and let go a little bit. And if it's comfortable, maybe on the exhale can be a sigh, if it's soundless, whatever feels good. So we'll inhale, and maybe the area around our head and the area around our eyes releases a little bit on our exhale. Inhale, our ears. Next exhale, maybe release more around our nose. Our mouth and our jaw. Just softening on each exhale. The base of our skull, beginning of our spine, just letting it soften, releasing into our seat. Our neck, our shoulders, make our way down through our arms, just feeling, just softening. Our wrists and our hands, coming to our chest, our sternum down to our bellies. Take one more breath right into our bellies. Inhale, then exhale. Our pelvis, hips, our butts. Really letting ourselves sink into our seats. Next exhale, soften into our thighs. Our knees. Our calves. Our ankles. And then our feet. Our toes and the bottoms of our feet. And let's just take a few breaths on our own, just feeling into our soft body. Noticing if there's anything else, any part that's still holding a little bit. See if we can just soften and sink into our seats a little bit more. Feeling supported by our seats and supported by the space that we're creating with each other. Just a few breaths on your own. So we can keep our eyes closed and stay in our comfortable, soft position. And I'll just invite us to just take in the sounds that we hear. Just allow ourselves to just stay with the sounds and let that be our guide. And if we just imagine that we're playing all together, we can sort of just feel the beginnings of the notes and just stay with the note as we hear the endings and just stay with that. And we'll ride that for a while and then we'll come back together. We can keep our eyes closed if that feels comfortable, just for a few more moments. Just feeling into the silence. Feeling into our bodies. And we'll just take a couple of moments, and if we feel comfortable, we can put our hands on our hearts and just send just some deep loving kindness right into our hearts. Acknowledging all that we're feeling individually and collectively right now. Let's just take 3 full breaths together. So we'll inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And one more. And let it out. And as we're ready, we can open our eyes and come back to the space with each other.